Welcome into another edition of What Barrie's Talking About from Barrie 360. I'm Dan Blakely. On this week's program, record stores used to be the hangout, flipping through rows and rows of albums, collecting music charts, posters, and other related paraphernalia. Hard to find one these days, but there are a couple locally, and they're tuning up for Record Store Day this Saturday. We meet another of the Barrie Chamber of Commerce Women in Business Award winners, Dr. Whitney Young, who operates a naturopathic practice in the city, and the season is about to start for the Simcoe County Rovers soccer teams. The club's president joins us with a preview. We get the conversation started after this. Record stores, they used to be everywhere. Sam's, A&A, Music World, Sunrise, HMV, and others. Now they're hard to find. But there's one tucked away in Thornton, Dawson's Wild West Vinyl on Barrie Street, run by Don Somerville, who took some time to talk ahead of Record Store Day this Saturday with Barrie 360's Julius Hearn.
Give us a sense of what a Record Store Day promotion means for a store like you.
It means a lot. It's the biggest day of the year for us by far, and it introduces a lot of people to music they wouldn't usually look at, and introduces people to vinyl themselves.
It's funny, as I'm getting to your store today, you just got a delivery. Is that stuff?
Just got in 2 seconds ago, yeah.
Do you know, when you're an owner, do you know what's coming in for Record Store Day for the most part, or is it all surprise?
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The way the system works is I order whatever I think the store should have, and then they go through it and they decide on what we actually receive. So, in retrospect, we could order 25 Taylor Swifts, we could get 50. Right. So it kind of works that way, but it's quite the event.
And it works that way for Record Store Day specifically?
Specifically for Record Store Day, yes. Yeah, because they want to make sure it's kind of fair for everybody. It's based on how many stores are in the area. It's based on, of course, sales also. And they just kind of want to make it so, one store doesn't get 50 copies and the store next door to it gets 2.
Right.
So they try to spread it out.
I know Record Store Day, there's some albums on that they might send you that are specific to Record Store Day. They're right. They're specific to that promotion. Do you find that brings in a lot of customers specifically looking for those items?
It does. And there's 3 different types of Record Store Day stuff too. There's limited runs, which is usually your local stuff. There is Record Store Day exclusives, and there's Record Store Day firsts. So the first, usually they're put out Record Store Day, and then it's put out later on in the year too. So, but yeah, it makes for a fun day, I'll tell you that.
How long you been in business here?
We've been in business here for almost 2 years. 2 years July. So
yeah, so it's you can tell it's a burgeoning market in Simcoe County, and just
most definitely
here in Thornton. It's been great. We were talking about this, as I've come in, and how important album artwork is to things flying off the shelves.
Yep.
Obviously,
Record
Store Day, definitely no different. When a record kind of comes off the shelf or sells well, do you think it's because of the artwork specifically, or more because of the artist and the music you find on?
I think it doesn't hurt. It definitely doesn't hurt the great artwork. And some albums are just iconic for that artwork. As we were saying, GNR, Appetite for Destruction. Everybody knows that album. Do they buy it because of the album cover? Maybe. But it's also one of the top 10 albums put out. So,
do you think there's a specific album that you can point to that sells so well because it looks the way it does?
There's a few of them like that. Offhand, probably something like, as much as I hate to say it, Fleetwood Mac Rumors sells amazing, not only because it's a great album, but that cover grabs people's attention.
Yeah, it's one of those,
most definitely.
It's one of those covers that is just so iconic, like people know it from everywhere.
It is,
right?
And we're not talking just people of the last 40 years. We're talking from when that album came out in 1977 till now. Every single generation knows that album. They know that cover.
Are there other albums along the same lines? Like, they're so iconic that people see them across pop culture in so many ways. That
AC/DC, Back in Black. Simple as simple can be, but everybody knows that one. Absolutely knows that one. Metallica and Justice for All, Metallica Ride the Lightning, any of that type of stuff that just pops when it comes out at you. Right?
I think that's a good segue because we were talking also about metal albums,
Mhm.
especially that genre specifically tends to relate more. The visual
Most
aspect
definitely
tends to relate more
Most
to
definitely.
sales.
Iron Maiden albums are some of the best artwork there is. Judas Priest albums, some of the best artwork. Motorhead. And it pops. When you're going through it, you see it. So
How often do you find that the visuals tend to actually relate to sales specifically?
it does, most definitely, especially if it's an 80s metal band. Maybe it's a little less well known. Guys will buy it just because the cover looks awesome. And then they find out the music's just as good inside. So
How often are you finding that people come in with such an open mind like that, where they're just looking for something to kind of pop and catch their?
I'd say 15 to 20% right off the bat. Yeah, would be coming in here specifically for that. I do a $3 sale in our tent that I do every year. A lot of those are bought because of the album covers. The covers look cool. They'll pay $3 for it.
Do you find that social media has kind of made the album artwork for certain records, stand out more, and that relates to
Sure they
line
have.
off the shelf?
Yeah, they have. And you know what? Social media has been great for getting certain music out there. And we mentioned Fleetwood Mac Rumors. The reason that album came back again is because of a guy skateboarding down a road. A lot of people had forgotten about that album. And now, apparently, this year, it's going to become the number one selling album of all time. It's going to pass Thriller.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
We're talking about Record Store Day, and sometimes there tends to be, special artwork that comes out on those promotion days, variants or alternatives or limited editions.
Yep.
How much do those drive sales for you?
They do quite well, especially the limited run ones, because usually they're only pressed 800 to 1,000 times. So those are ones with the best artwork. You see one behind you with the past Record Store Day stuff. There's a band called In Flames. They did it with a picture disc. It looks awesome. It's going to sell because it's a picture disc usually.
When you're sitting here behind the desk, right?
Yep.
You're watching people kind of go through the store. Can
Yep.
you tell when they pick up an album and they see it and they react in a certain way
Most
because it looks so
definitely.
cool? How does that tend to go for you?
It's pretty cool experience, I'll tell you, especially if it's something that is iconic like the Rumors album. If it's a Back in Black, GNR, stuff like that, it's great to see people look at that and go, oh, it's awesome. Or it might be somebody that had the album before. And that's the way they remember it, is that great artwork in front. And that's why a lot of people, when they have their collections, in the old days, they used to stack them sideways. A lot of people are putting them forwards now. So when you go through your album, you see the artwork too.
Do you find that people sometimes buy more for the display aspect, so people putting them on the wall instead of they're just going to play them?
We have a couple customers that strictly buy picture discs, and he decorates his entire house with those picture discs.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Another thing I've also been curious about is sometimes an artist might have a specific artistic direction for the first part of their discography, but then they might really change something up and go a totally different way visually.
Yeah.
Does that tend to stand out to people and drive sales?
At some points, yeah. It depends on the artist. It really depends on the artist. Some artists won't have amazing covers because they want the music to speak for itself. Jack White's a perfect example of that. Most of his covers are pretty normal. Nothing stands out because he wants the music to stand out. That's why.
Before we go here, what do you have? Do you know what you have here for Record Store Day? Or
well, this is right now. This is order number 1. So this is about 70 records here. We probably will having next week another 200 records coming in. So we have an idea what we got in, but it's coming in a lot slower than we'd like it to.
Well, again, really appreciate your time, and I will definitely be walking through those doors on Friday.
Sounds good, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We continue our series of chats with the recent Barrie Chamber of Commerce Women in Business Awards recipients, joined this week by Dr. Whitney Young, co-owner of Rooted Naturopathic Clinic, who won the Healthcare Hero Award. Welcome to What Barrie's Talking About, and congrats on the award.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
When you heard your name announced that day, I was there. I saw everybody win. What was your first thought? What came into your mind?
Wow. I guess just shock and excitement and honor and then do I stand? Do I hug people?
What do I do now?
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? I won an award.
Exactly.
Why do you think your work resonated as it did with the chamber and the community in general?
Well, I've been in Barrie for quite a while now, 17 years, and this is my first time up for the award, so I think that stood out, right? And then also the ways I have touched the community and been part of the community, not just in my clinic, but I've done workshops for the city of Barrie. I do baby workshops at a baby shop, Serenity Birth Studio, and sponsoring tournaments and runs. So it's not just my work, but I think that was a big part of it.
Well, thank goodness you chose this route then, because the other route you were thinking of was acting.
Yes.
Wow. What drove you down this road instead of the acting road?
Probably my mother. Probably.
Get a real job.
Exactly. So we could do that on the side, maybe, or in my retirement, perhaps.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come back to that a little later, but yeah. So you graduated in 2008, set up shop in Barrie, joined the Rooted Clinic as a co-owner in 2013.
Yes.
And so what sets you apart from the rest? I know you do all this other work, but within the clinic itself, what challenges have you had to overcome? How did you become a healthcare hero?
Well, I'm someone who always looks at kind of what's next and how else can I help. So we started the clinic in 2013 with 2 naturopaths, and we've grown slowly over the years. And I really enjoy mentoring and bringing on new naturopathic doctors. And I get excited about helping them build their practices. And then in the last year, I do a lot of intravenous vitamins and nutrients. And in the last year, I've discovered, hey, we can also do iron infusions, which is a huge need in our community and around the world, really. Iron deficiency is quite high.
Why is that? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's okay. It's women, so going through their monthly cycles, so they are losing blood, and then through other pathologies within the body. So it's often women who are in the clinic who are low iron, and then not eating enough but losing too much. So, and sometimes it's the iron pills don't agree with people's digestive systems, and they need iron.
It's nice to have an alternative to think about and latch onto if you need to or you want to.
Yes, definitely. And so it's one of those things that I last year was like, okay, well, let's do this. Let's add this to the clinic. And we're getting a lot of great referrals from the medical doctors, hematologists. There's another place in Barrie that offers that service, which is awesome.
So you've got women covered.
Yeah, yes.
Is there a moment with a patient or in the community that reminds you on a regular basis of why your work matters?
I used to do a lot of fertility work with couples struggling to get pregnant. And I have a couple patients, I can picture one in my mind, and her son is 7 now. And we were really part of her journey and part of them being able to have a child. So every time I see them pop in the clinic, you watch him grow, and I just feel just so grateful I could be part of their journey and life-changing for that family.
Are you finding people are coming around to what you do? Because a lot of people, that's voodoo. No, I can't do that. Not going away. Are people grasping onto it now or a little less leery of it?
Definitely. And I've seen, as I've been practicing 17, 18 years, I've seen a change. Barrie was always receptive, I would say, but there was a lot more education that you had to do a couple decades ago about what is a naturopath. And nowadays it seems many more people are aware and they see it on their benefits lists. Like, hey, I can get a massage or see a naturopath or see a chiro. So more it's about picking. Now it feels like it's picking the right naturopath because they know about it and they want to have one.
And how do you pick the right one other than coming to your clinic?
Well, sometimes we refer it to other doctors in the community. I like to pick based on what's going on for the patient, so a specific condition, and then also personality-wise. So if I happen to know who's looking and what they're looking for, what health condition they might have, I have a good idea of who I'd like them to see, if possible.
Can you, so I have my own medical doctor. If I thought you had something better to offer in terms of something that I'm going through, can I come to you? Like, can I have like two doctors on each side of the fence kind of thing?
Yes, definitely. And we recommend that.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. We recommend you still keep your medical doctor, your nurse practitioner, and then we complement what you're doing there or support what you already have in place with them
Mm-hmm.
in that supportive way so that you get almost like a second opinion and a second way of looking at the same issue, but that you can have the buzzword holistic
Mm-hmm.
view of your health. And there's things that we do that they don't, and there's things that they do that we don't. So it's important to have both.
Is that a competitive kind of thing that's happening, or do you collaborate with the other physician?
See, there's more collaboration nowadays, but we still have a long way to go. There's lots of misinformation out there. So we still have a lot of ways to go to bridge that gap and work more collaboratively for sure.
Let's talk about some of the misconceptions, the ones that you'd really like to dispel and clear up and make sure people really know what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Could be here all day.
Yeah. Possibly. Witchcraft. Yeah. So we we can use herbs and teas and things like that, but it's not witchcraft or voodoo. Sometimes we get confused with homeopaths. So, you're a homeopath, you're a naturopath. Those are two different trainings. Naturopathic doctors, we have undergraduate degrees first, and then we go to a doctorate naturopathic college.
Mm-hmm.
So we can order blood work, we can do physical exams, we can diagnose, do lots of the things that your general practitioner does. And our tools, our treatments are different.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
That's right. And and often we support the medications that your doctor puts you on. There are some good reasons for that. So we don't all butt heads or say, no, that's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How do you take care of your own health? Do you avoid burnout with all the work that you're doing? Because it sounds like you never stop.
Yes, that is a good question.
That's what I get paid for.
Yes. Sleep is very important. So I go to bed around the same time every day, get up every day at the same time. I think that's pretty important. Eat lots of different fruits and vegetables, a wide variety, and move my body. And, those are the basics. Drink water, and smile, laugh.
That's so important, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? Get through the day.
Yeah. Positive attitude and adding to your life.
Advice for others who are thinking about doing what you do or anything else for that matter. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, obviously. You started a business and you've got it going still, but it's not always easy. It's not as easy as people might think it is.
No, it's not.
So what's the advice you would give somebody?
I would say start small. I liked, when I tried to move into a bigger clinic too fast, that didn't go as well. So I would say as an entrepreneur, just start small and be gradual and try to not get too far ahead of yourself so that you're worried or not going fast enough. So take your time, have patience with yourself. That would be one thing. And then really it was getting to know the community and being part of the small business community and networking that really got a good foothold in the community. So not doing everything alone. And I have a great business partner. So also leaning on others and not doing everything yourself. I would recommend that.
Don't carry that load.
No. Share it. It's more fun to share the fun and the work as well.
Well, and you've got a staff now 7 or 8 strong?
Yes. 5, 6 doctors, 2 admin and one more Ivy admin coming on. So yeah,
Must be doing something right.
I think so. Thank you.
What's next? Any further expansion plans? A healthcare TV show to, harken back to that acting thing you had?
Right. Well, doing a podcast has always been on the list. So we'll see.
The wheels are turning. I
Always.
can see. Well, congratulations on the award, and good on you for all the great work you're doing in the community. Obviously, it's been recognized and noticed, and this is why you're a healthcare hero.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in. New owners, a new season about to begin for the Simcoe County Rovers Football Club. Here again is Barrie 360's Julius Hearn with club president Will DeVallis.
Ownership change this year, I think, is maybe one of the biggest changes overall when it comes to the club as a whole. What's really different between the previous ownership and now Barrie Soccer Club?
Well, I think that there's been some transition. I was one of the original owners of the Rovers, so there is some continuity moving from the Rovers to Barrie Soccer. Obviously, we have some big names that helped with starting up the organization, like Julian de Guzman and Danielle Henry and Janine Becky and Atiba Hutchison and Kyle Laren, as well as the co-owners Peter Racco and David Zabar that are no longer kind of here on a day-to-day basis involved, but are still huge supporters of the club. We get daily messages from them, seeing what's happening on social media, congratulating us for results that we have and things that we're doing. I think from a community standpoint, having the Barrie Soccer Club as a new owner of the club, nothing really changes in that regard, I think, because for the last 4 years of the Rovers' existence, now going into year 5, the Barrie Soccer Club has been the biggest supporter of the Rovers when it comes to season tickets, fans in the seats, players coming through the pathway, and nothing's really changed. So really, I think it's just more off the field that's changed, but we don't see any huge changes as far as the way we operate or what our goals are. We want to continue doing the same thing that we've been doing.
So not a whole lot that fans will notice right away, like when it comes to ticket prices or social media coverage, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, nothing at all. Ticket prices have actually stayed the same. We've had an increase in our season ticket sales, which has been fantastic. Our in-stadium game day operations, nothing's going to really change other than, just basically who's on paper as far as who owns the club. With the Barrie Soccer Club now owning it, we made a commitment that we were going to operate the same way that we always have been. We weren't going to take any steps back. We wanted to still move forward, push forward to win trophies and making sure that, that we still continue the pathway for the kids in the club.
Obviously, I know community is big for you guys. Obviously, Barrie Soccer Club. I'll get to that in a bit. Another change, though, obviously, that maybe it's not Rovers specific, but the league brand change from a League One Ontario or League One Canada to the Premier Leagues Canada, I guess you could say now OPL. What were your thoughts when the change was made?
I think the change is fantastic. Just aligning football in Canada right across the board, I think is a huge step forward for us as a country. I think just the rebrand, being very close to the Canadian Premier League, it makes sense. It makes absolute sense, being that, we've seen quotes in the media this week about how, CPL coaches and clubs are scouting the Ontario Premier League all the time. And you see that there's talents coming from our league through to the CPL all the time. And then, eventually, obviously, we have the women, too, that are moving into NSL and NWSL. So I think the branding is a great idea. And I think that it's good for the league. It's good for both leagues.
Talk about community. What are some new community initiatives now that you guys are going to have instilled this year that weren't available last year?
So we're going to continue with the same initiatives that we've had. We're going to have theme nights. We're going to have, military nights. We're going to have, first responders. We're going to have, we partnered with the Huronia District Soccer Association to try and reach out to all of the other community clubs in Huronia. Although Barrie Soccer owns the club, we don't by any means look at the Rovers as just being our baby. It's really a community club for the entire region. So, we're reaching out to the other clubs and looking to get, team experiences, kind of similar. Like if you go down to Toronto FC, you got team experiences for the young kids coming in, walking in with the players and national anthems and stuff. We're going to continue to do those things and try and expand a little more with all other community clubs. But yeah, no, and even from a Barrie Soccer Club standpoint, the nice thing is from like a social media standpoint, we've kind of integrated both Barrie Soccer and Rovers as far as all our social media marketing and stuff goes. So it's just a bigger impact, not just for the Rovers, because the Barrie Soccer Club have a huge following of over 4,200 members. But I think bringing them together just gives us a better outreach as well.
You mentioned earlier, like the pathway for talent potentially coming up to the Rovers. Like you see people in Barrie Soccer Club from such a young age, and you see them move up through the system. What does the change now do for that pathway?
Well, I think that the pathway has always been there. I think now that Barrie Soccer is kind of overseeing the full operation from talent recruitment to game day operations, everything. I think what it does now is just opens up an even bigger opportunity for players within our organization. So this year we've taken a step forward with Barrie Soccer Club coaches taking a bigger role in the Rovers organization even. So as reserve team coaches, as first team assistant coaches. So it's not only giving players within our club an opportunity, but it's giving coaches in our club an opportunity to get to that next level. And I think, these young kids, they come into Rovers games. They all get a season ticket as a Barrie Soccer Club player. They get a season ticket as part of their membership. They come in week and week out to JC Massey Field and watching the players play. And they aspire to be something, it gives them something to look up to. And then in addition to that, with the partnership now bringing the Rovers together with Barrie Soccer, we're going to be running additional programming for our youth club that are going to be operated by Rovers players. So our summer camps are going to be run by Rovers players. Our house league programs are going to be supported by Rovers players. Our technical programs are going to be supported by Rovers players. So what that does is now gives the kids that are in the stands every week watching the players play an opportunity now to even be coached by those players. So it's just been a great opportunity for us, and we couldn't turn the opportunity down when we were given the opportunity to bring it together.
How much are you finding that Canada hosting the World Cup this year is bringing excitement to Barrie Soccer Club, the Rovers this year?
There's a lot of things going on. With the World Cup being here in Canada, it's obviously brought a lot of kids wanting to play the game. We've seen an increase in registrations at Barrie Soccer Club. I would attribute that to the same as when we saw the Raptors win the NBA championship. You saw the basketball saw an increase in membership, and I think the World Cup has created some really great excitement. We've planned a World Cup viewing party here on June 12th for Canada's first game, basically sponsored by the Rovers and Canadian Brew House and Barrie Tourism. So we're doing those type of things. But yeah, there's a huge excitement. We even got you may have heard of our dome project at the Barrie Soccer Club, where we're building a brand new facility, indoor facility, outdoor facility. We were hopeful we're going to get cracking on it here sometime later in 2026. So everything's really just coming together and tying 2026 together.
Let's go a bit on the field. We'll start with the men's side. Randy Rivera's not here, but talk to me a little bit about Randy and what he brings to the club this year on the field.
Yeah, Randy brings an incredible amount of experience from a coaching standpoint. He's coached both on the men's side, the women's side. He's got university coaching as well. He's a Laurentian university coach for the women. So I think bringing somebody in like Randy to run the men's side and then also support the women's side has been an incredible coup for us, to be quite honest. In addition to that, we've actually also brought Randy in as the club head coach for the Barrie Soccer Club. Again, just a way to tie in everything from a pathway and youth standpoint. Having the club head coach also be the Rovers men's coach and women's assistant coach just really ties everything in together for the players and the families that are part of our organization.
And for the women's side here, obviously a huge year last year. I know you were the director of that women's club specifically, so you have a bit more knowledge. I guess you were kind of at the top of that. What does success look like this year after such a successful year last year?
Well, yeah, like it's a hard act to follow, right? But winning the League One championship, Ontario championship, and then winning League One Canada, we were the first team ever from Ontario to win the League One Canada championship. Being there in Edmonton and seeing it happen was just absolutely amazing. We have an incredible group of young ladies that play for our women's team. I'm ecstatic to say that we pretty much have the entire team back with some other key additions that we've added to the team. So I know it's a tough act to follow, but our goal is always our goal, and looking to win the league championship and hopefully move on to bigger and better competitions. And we're looking forward to maybe some future announcements here as far as what the League One Canada Championship does for us, potentially putting us into a Canadian Championship with some of the NSL teams, potentially a CONCACAF potential championship. But right now, our sole focus is, until we get the word, is to really focus on the league and trying to repeat.
Yeah, you had to imagine that, with the NSL starting last year, there was going to be something more along the lines of a Canadian Championship like we see with CPL teams and League One Canada teams, right?
Yeah, I remember like 2 years ago when our men won the championship and got into the Canadian Championship and had to face Toronto FC as our first game of the Canadian Championship, and it was an incredible experience for everybody. Fans. We packed BMO Field, over 2,200 fans. I think we broke the Canadian Championship record for visiting fans to any away game, and that was all Barrie soccer and Barrie soccer fans and Rover fans that filled the stadium. So we're hopeful that we're going to get the call that we're going to be able to have a similar type of experience on the women's side this year. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're building our roster as if that's what we're going to be doing.
I really appreciate your time, Will. Thanks again. I look forward to this season.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
And that's our program for this week. Thanks to Julius for his contributions, to Logan Miller for his technical touch, Anthony Giordano for getting it out there, and to you for listening. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to What Barrie's Talking About. You can also keep up with What Barrie's Talking About on Blue Sky and X at Barrie360, on our website, Barrie360.com, and there's our daily Kickstart podcast available from any streaming service and on our website. I'm Dan Blakely. Hope you'll join us again next week.